Navi in game number 3. Let's see how it all breaks out and whether VG take this one as the curse normally dictates. Let's head back to your commentary team for game number 3.
Thank you so much, Paul. Finally, the panel has seen the light. All Navi all day. Trent, which side of the camp do you fall on?
Dude, I don't know. You've just been on point so far. I can't believe you've convinced them. Your enthusiasm has made them think Navi's going to win a best-of-3 against VG Gaming.
Yeah.
I'm not so easily convinced. I can't lie. I mean, yes, triple melee core, a little dangerous, but that vision control, man, it's still there. I feel like we got it again. The Night Stalker, the Monkey King. And I feel like Navi looked at game 1 and they said, hey, man, we almost won that game. You know, that was pretty close. And so they're going back for a very similar strategy. They're going to try it once more. But we're still finding that, you know, Velour's got to step up. There's no question.
Yeah, there is a lot of eyeballs on this Doom right now.
Yeah.
Game 1 was very rocky, very low impact Doom. Pretty much only doomed the Death Prophet once she already had her ult out. It worked a couple of times, didn't work so well a few others.
Now, mind you, imagine if they had a Doom that hit some spells that game.
That's true.
I mean,
it would have been a completely different game.
It would look pretty good. It felt like he just had a really hard time because of the engagements. Because he was also in the support role, which he is again. It's very difficult to get into that initiation item. Now, mind you, game 2, he found his way into some better items thanks to the kills, so maybe he can kind of get the same thing rolling here. Get involved a bit more, get a Shadow Blade, get a Blink Dagger, something like that, so that he can be involved and have an impact in this game.
Yeah, definitely concerned on the side of VG Gaming, having 4 melee heroes, 3 melee cores, Luna, Death Prophet, Sand King, Disruptor, all heroes that are pretty good against heavy melee lineups, especially Death Prophet and Luna. They love to be in those close quarters, glaives bouncing around, ghosties doing damage left and right. Even multi-hero silences get a lot easier for the Death Prophet. These mid-game teamfights are going to be difficult for VG.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at Eclipse, Exorcism, Static Storm, and Epicenter. These are 4 ultimates that are very happy to have some clumped opponents. So they are going to be a little bit cautious, but, you know, BKB comes out for the Kunkka. BKB comes out for the Monkey King.
Great BKB game, no doubt about that.
And maybe they just kind of look like game 1.
Look at these lanes, though, Trent. A little bit of trickery from Navi. General, he heads mid on the Sand King to go up against the Kunkka.
Okay, we've seen this whole Death Prophet situation against Kunkka isn't all that great, right?
Yep, so she'll go off lane with the Doom. We have seen a lot of off lane Prophet, although it's felt like a lot of them haven't really done that well when put in the off lane. But we'll see how it fares this game. Up top, the Disruptor Luna, pretty stock standard for Navi. But they're going to feel the pressure of this dubious duo, Skywrath and Underlord. Once they get a couple more levels under their belts, these two are going to be able to put on a lot of pressure. The Firestorm with the Arcane Bolts is so annoying.
Yeah, this is a relatively weak dual lane. You know, Luna, Disruptor, like, ugh. I mean, you make up for it back with the Luna. You get a little bit of the aura going on. You can get some right clicks, but man, the Disruptor is not exactly the dream position, you know, 5 to just dual lane. Whereas you have Underlord, Skywrath, Mage, 2 of the more frustrating people in that spam.
Yep, that's about to be a first blood. It's so close. Gets down to 1 or 2 HP, but Crystallize lives. Now the potential turn onto Lana. Lil trying to pursue, and he finds it. It's Navi that get the advantage. They'll strike first in the top lane.
Yeah, Lil's going to have to look for a TP out here, maybe. He can find his way to safety.
Yeah, it's going to be close. The Firestorm, level 1, very underwhelming, and Lil will be able to walk back. So,
all right.
Just like that, the underpowered dual lane does find a kill, but now Lanham's back with full mana. Crystallize hangs around a bit too long, and he's just going to feed one right back the other way. Happy birthday, Lanham.
He does spend most of his gold, though, at the very least, and we'll get something out of this. Loses about 70, and they got the first blood, so in the end, it's still worth it.
All right. So let's check in mid lane, how we look in here. Kunkka, Sand King, relatively even. Kunkka does have the advantage, and I think that's pretty expected. It's not a mid matchup we see too much.
Yeah, it's just like the Caustic, you still have to deal with this as a melee hero up against Sand King. Yes, Kunkka is very obnoxious and annoying because of the way he can go for the denies, but Sand King kind of punishes you on every single deny you want to go for, right?
You can see it right here.
Exactly. He tries to approach the wave, Caustic Burst, Burrow Strike, punish, 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 and he doesn't have a lot of sustain. Yes, he can X-TP back home and everything, but that's, you know, you can only do that so often. You're not Emperor.
Yeah, that's very true. Down bottom, double damage was picked up by Fenrir, so it's a little bit of extra pressure in the lane perhaps. Him and Paparazzi doing pretty well in this bottom lane. 7-4 on the Monkey King, 11-5 on Dendi's Death Prophet, so looks like it is still going in favor of Navi, but not a huge discrepancy. We'll see how it kind of settles down. The double melee is a little bit rough against the Doom and the DP. And actually, there's the initiation, the net right into the Spirit Siphon. It is level 2 from Dendi, and Paparazzi's in a lot of trouble. He does get off the Jingu Mastery, but is it going to be enough to turn this around? Now Dendi's the one getting low. Beller will finish off that kill onto the MK, and Fenrir does have to head back to the tower. It is so hard to go for kills on Monkey King and lane like that. You really have to just like fully commit. You know, you can never just half-ass a kill attempt, or he gets the Jingu stacks. He gets one good Boundless Strike onto you, some creeps, and he can go all the way back up to full HP. So now up top, Lanham in a little bit of trouble trying to run away.
Same time bottom though, Fenrir also gets netted and burned.
Yep, looks like Fenrir is going to TP out, but Lucent Beam will finish off Lanham. Now 11 left behind against 2. Gets off a pretty good Firestorm. Does a lot of return damage to Crystallize, but another Lucent Beam after the stick charges should secure this kill for the Dire. Navi now leading 4-1 in the first 5 minutes. Mid lane. They're going to maybe get this kill on General, so it's a good rotation that way. Ori now getting one up on the scoreboard himself.
Getting that edge too. So important to get 6 on the Kunkka. Not really that big of a deal for the Sand King in this laning matchup, but Ori's just going to have total kill threat on the Sand King because of this. Meanwhile, down the bottom, Paparazzi just kind of continuing his way in the last sets. I guess likely to be another BKB game, or rather Battle Fury game for him.
Again, a lot of action here. 11 able to survive thanks to the infused raindrops as Crystallize tried to give him that last Lucent Beam, and it might actually be enough to turn around for a solo kill on Lil. Crystallize does need to be careful here. 11 comes out of the tree line, both very low HP as multiple kills breaking out as Dendi goes down in the bottom lane with a rotation from Lanham. Though up top, it's not over yet. General makes this rotation. Again, the infused raindrops find him some time, but the bounty rune picked up by the Sink.
Nice play, knowing the Underlord was going to go back for that. And so even though Lil ends up dying, they don't get to kill the Underlord right away. Eventually it'll come their way, but yeah, Dendi losing his life at the bottom thanks to these nighttime plays from Fenrir and the rotations from Lanham. And now with level 6 there on Ori, General is just trying to body block the wave, trying to get himself to a safe spot to try and keep farming here.
Yeah, 21 last hits on the Sand King compared to the 31 of the Kunkka, so it is certainly a decent disparity
here.
Yeah, there's a rotation from Fenrir around the backside. He wants to go in onto Dendi. The Primal Spring does connect on 2. Ori now with the follow-up. Falls a little bit short, and Fenrir kind of gets turned on. 30 HP, makes it into the tree line. It's a missed opportunity for Vici.
Yeah, can't quite find the slows, the Boundless Strike and everything to set up for that X mark. Ori, I think maybe a little greedy there, going for the boat and the torrent, not just like committing for the X.
Definitely agreed with you there.
Oh, that's fine for General, though. He leaves the lane mid, means he can actually clean up the whole thing and start catching up in terms of CS, and likewise, Lanham happy to absorb that wave mid for experience and gold.
11 can be able to survive this time after getting clipped by the kinetic field. Pretty good top lane for Crystallize.
Yeah, he's been great.
Not free farming, but still having a pretty solid time, those kills adding to that net worth.
I think, you know, 1 kill, 2 assists. Just, again, the idea of having just the solo disruptor against a relatively difficult dual off lane, he's doing quite well.
Yeah, fair point there. Mid lane now, General went for the initiation onto Lanham. Torrent from Ori was off the mark, but ooh, Tidebringer gets General low, and he's going to be forced back to his own high ground.
Level 7 at this point. In terms of our, like, kind of game plan here, I mean, we're looking towards, like, the level 6 on the Doom. But realistically, the Blink Dagger on the Sand King will be that sort of big step for us, it kind of feels like. See if he actually commits fully in towards the drums before it, just because he is in the mid. If he were to get an earlier Blink this game, it doesn't look nearly as good as it did last game for Vici Gaming. I feel like with the Templar Assassin and the Mirana, there's a lot more potential plays that could be done. You get an early Blink this game, and there's not really. You got a Death Prophet and a Luna, who Death Prophet, you know, maybe if you can set up a good kill and go for some towers, but she still needs a while to come online, and Luna really needs them.
Yep, up top, glimpse onto 11, but he's got a TP rotation. It'll be Paparazzi, and they've got a lot of damage coming in onto Lil. Primal Spring secures the kill that way. Also a rotation from Lanham. Arcane Bolt will repel Crystallize, and it's just a quick kill for Vici.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he can stay up. He might need a TP somewhere. I think he's probably just considering where that could be, or if he's going to get some support backup. Paparazzi's on the hunt.
Tree dance. A little bit of vision.
Half a level to go here for Lanham. Maybe waiting on that before they want to scare away Crystallize.
Definitely some potential to find a kill with that Mystic Flare. They have rotated the Underlord now down to the bottom lane. Maybe put a little pressure on that TP and also get some space himself.
Yeah, Doom walks mid and gets some good wards down, but Velor, he's not getting any experience right now. He's having a hard time finding any kills, and it's 3 more minutes of daytime, though, so I guess a little bit more time for them to work.
Ori, level 8, potential rotation, but this is a tough one to get. Double damage on General maybe makes it easier. There is a stun inside of the Doom. That hoof stomp gives them the extra control they need, and just like that, Ori falls.
Very nice. No chance for him to make a play with the boat or anything, but Crystallize also in trouble. The Eclipse, I don't think it's enough.
It does a little bit of return damage. General rotating, he does still have that double damage rune, but won't be able to get the stun over the tree line, and they will get away with that pick. Both teams now losing a big core. And again, this Sand King, #1 on net worth. Let's see if he can transition a little bit better compared to how the Sand King did in our last match.
And, I mean, we looked at the pairings in terms of, like, what an early Blink Dagger does for you, but at the same time, he also might need it for that defensive edge, just to, like, maybe guard his Luna. Maybe he can't make that many plays, but if they're going to keep focusing on Crystallize, a Blink Dagger is going to allow him to TP in and actually make counter-initiation plays the way that you want your Dream Sand King games to go like.
Well, now they'll find Paparazzi. He does have some support inbound. Ori as well as Lanham are here. The boat combo is on the way. Monkey King does live, but General getting a little bit low. They
Drink up, though, the rum.
Don't quite have that damage thanks to the Kunkka.
You're drunk. Movement speed increased by 10%. Temporary numbness to incoming damage. It's a great buff.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, the Admiral's rum trend. Here it's quite good.
It's not quite as good as the Huskar one. You're just, you're on fire. Big fan of that debuff.
All right, so bottom lane 11. He's been pretty quiet for the last couple minutes, but he's got the Hood of Defiance queued up here, so yeah, pretty good game for it. A lot of magic damage on the side of Navi.
Yep, excellent game to be the Aura builder. You just feel so tanky. You're helping out the team. There's a Doom who, honestly, if you tank the Doom, that's part of your job, really.
Sure.
Might lead to some preemptive pipe poppings, trying to make sure they're ready for the fights, but that's fine. The only downside to getting doomed, honestly, for him is not having the Dark Rift. If you get off the early pipe, you get off the early Crimson Guard, you still won't have your panic button, which can be a real bummer. But Ori focusing down here.
Perfect setup from Lil. The glimpse back into the Static Storm Kinetic Field combo, but there is a rotation. Sand King secures the kill with an Epicenter. Now 3 more from Vici have made this rotation. And I don't know if it's going to work out. No. 11 goes down straight away. Dendi takes some burst damage, but that Exorcism hurts. Vici do not want to fight into this, but Fenrir still going back in. The Kinetic Field locks him in place. There's the Burrow Strike stun, and they lose 3 in the mid. Lanham on the run. Looks like he'll be able to make it out, as now even the Monkey King is rotating. All 5 heroes from Vici have rotated mid, and they don't get a single kill out of it.
Sticks and Wands just did so much work there for Navi.
I mean, Trent, they get 3 kills mid, and the 2 cores are farming in the off lane. Luna's free farming, and Velor's got all this space to himself down bottom. He's now level 6 with the Doom. That was incredible for Navi.
This is what they need, but again, this is like game 1. They had some trouble transitioning that lead. But
this feels a
I
little
already
different.
feel like it's set up different. It is better because the Doom's getting that gold. He needs something this game. The Sand King's guaranteed the gold. So our 2 people that need to kind of make and create these fights are going to be ready in this game. At least it feels that way.
Sure.
Whereas previously, yes, the Luna and the Lina were super farm. Denny and Crystallize looking great, but everyone else on the team was so far behind they couldn't actually aid them in the team fights. It's better, honestly, to build up these side pieces first and then get that gold onto our 1 and our 2, because at least in that point, we're going to be able to fight, Looks like he will commit for the drums, though, on General. After saving for a long time, he does finish them up, just decides that maybe the Blink won't be the most valuable thing at the moment. And a full HP tower here being threatened by Paparazzi. They go for the smoke play all the way around here, saying, look, is anyone coming to defend this thing? Because it's going to be a while if he just tries to chip it away, but it looks like Navi are wise to their ruse here.
Yeah, certainly seems like it. Good news for Vici to let this Monkey King get a little bit of space. He does have the Battle Fury queued up and still a lot of farming to do to pick up that farming tool so he can keep farming in the mid-game. But dodging the gank, certainly good news for Navi, especially with that Exorcism down. Always have to be a little bit wary of your opponents looking to seize the day when they know Exorcism is not available. Already 900 gold on General towards that Blink Dagger post drums, so his farm still continuing to be very impressive.
And his levels are great too, like 10 and a quarter, whereas Ori, throughout that whole smoke, he's only level 8. So even when you find people, the range on X just is not far right now. You know, it almost doubles by the time you're getting up to level 11 or level 10 if you skip it down, of course, but you don't want to do that when it's 40 damage.
Yep. Jumps 200 range per level on that X, so definitely one that scales very nicely. 11 did make a little pit stop for Arcane Boots before, I guess the Hooded Defiance still has it queued up and hasn't bought any of the core pieces yet. Some tower exchanging going about up top. Paparazzi finished off that tier 1, but down bottom it's Crystallize, who will secure a tier 1 tower of his own.
Yeah, I think you're okay with this as Vici Gaming, honestly. Doesn't really feel like you want to take these engagements at the moment, although it is nighttime, so then again, maybe this doesn't feel that great, because once we're into the daytime, you really can't take these fights. But they need something on Ori, and they're not just getting it at all, and he's going to get caught.
Another setup, and I don't know what they can do about it. Maybe they'll turn on to the Sand King, but Monkey King, he's here, he drops the stun. They will grab Sand King in return. It's a huge reaction out of Vici. It's only 4 of Navi here. If that's all they get, Navi might be okay with that, because that was space created for the Luna. Crystallize put a little bit of chip damage on that bottom tier 2, and now he's up top with even more space to farm.
Yeah, it is a lot of gold though, and they're going to be going back the other way for their own objective here. So I think overall, Vici Gaming very happy with this.
Okay, we'll see if they can get this tower. Exorcism just about to expire, so tough for Navi to really force something here.
I think no Static Storm, it's just way too hard.
Yeah, 45 seconds on that. But off to the side.
No, there's no point.
Fenrir goes in onto the Disruptor. He's getting pretty low, but the Shrine's there. Silence, but now the stun. They're going to catch Night Stalker, and Fenrir's in a lot of trouble. He goes down. The tower could still get denied as Crystallize comes in. That illusion not going to be able to do the job. They get a kill and a deny. No, so what do you think now? Worth the Sand King?
Yeah, definitely not worth for Vici there in that moment. So yeah, in the end, Navi looks like they're going to get the good trade here.
The roller coaster of emotions from happy to sad as Doom comes out on Kunkka. That is one sad pirate. However, he does have a free taxi service, but 11 gets blitzed. Beautifully done if it works. And it does. Secures the kill on Ori. Lil, what a player.
Yeah, oh my lord, is deserved. Well done.
That was pretty sweet.
Lil finally finding his stride here on Disruptor. It only took 3 games, and now he's finally getting somewhere. So, looking good.
A lot on the line here, Trent. 4K net worth lead for Navi at 16 minutes. Game 3 elimination here in the lower bracket of the Supermajor.
Oh, they've got another glimpse here. They have the ward vision.
And they'll grab it. Fenrir gets pulled out of the kinetic field right into a stun from General, but Dendi does get blasted down by the Skywrath Mace. This might not be the fight that Navi really want to take. Dendi's in a lot of trouble now. They'll lose 2.
Yep.
Another big reaction from Vici.
Those kills have to be so quick when they're next to the shrine like that too. And obviously if he doesn't get silenced, he's going to pop the nighttime, and you're going to be very sad. Wow, that was a big swing.
Yeah,
100 gold.
Big kills for Vici there. Luna does have her Mask of Madness, looking towards the BKB up next as she continues to farm the Dire jungle and pressure this top lane.
And she went for the Dragonlance first too.
Yeah.
So just trying to tank up a little bit here, mostly up against the Kunkka, I would assume. Make sure she will survive that combo.
Monkey King on the other side. Not that far away from the Battle Fury. We are 17 minutes in, so definitely looking to have that completed as soon as possible, but pretty much just a recipe away. So not much longer. 11 with some fancy footwork up top. We'll be able to juke him out and make it back to his tower.
No Doom here, and even if he had it, probably nothing. But the Blink Dagger is nearly done. Roll General here. This is clear up this wave, and once that's done, I would feel pretty comfortable here. You have the Dragonlance, helps out just a little bit with the sieges. You can kind of now play at the tower as Navi and not instantly commit the Exorcism. You chip away at the Luna, they try and contest, you pop it. You see the nighttime come out, you pop it. But until then, you just let Luna go to work.
Yeah. With the Dragonlance, like you said, it's a little bit easier for Crystallize to siege these kind of towers. We will see the smoke from Navi now as they look to wrap around the back.
They see them.
Beautifully done. But will they find the right angle? 11's in the trees.
They're creating 2 fights again, though.
Tries to guess for it. They force out the Dark Rift, so 11 will TP back. His team Not going to take the taxi.
Right there, though.
Okay. Doom still in the front lines, gets silenced. Ori, the one that's very low with the Static Storm kinetic field, now glimpsed back. Great stun from General. Kunkka goes down first. The Wukong's command comes out. Buyback from the Kunkka.
Oh, they need a Doom here, Velor. You can't go down again.
He's going to get brought down without using the Doom, but Crystallize is still ready to party. He's on his way back in. Silence, the foe connects. Epicenter from General. Stun on 2. Big time damage as 11 falls. Ori dies back on the Kunkka, and they will find the Monkey King as he tries to TP out. Trent, I think this qualifies as a disaster.
I would say so. You don't need the Doom if you just keep on chasing. They turn around there. Man, Dendy held that Exorcism for so long. I wasn't sure it was going to work out, but they found that turnaround there at the end by the shrine. Yeah, exactly. And able to commit in for that and give themselves a over 4K lead right now.
Navi pulling on the heartstrings of fans as now mid lane, Lanham, he'll be isolated. He's completely alone. They'll use a drum charge. The Urn's already ticking him down. And one more click from that fiery sword as Velor gets another kill up on the scoreboard. All the while, that tier 2 up top is turned to rubble.
Yeah, Velor's got a Spirit Vessel done this game, so feeling pretty good. Had the Crimson last game, I believe. And now just going to offer an element of sustain. And very important in these Luna drafts, if you ever want a chance to just win the game and you see this moment, the last thing you want to happen is that you run out of sustain like Team Spirit and lose the game. So make sure you have an Urn on your team.
Yes.
Because they would have won.
If Spirit had an Urn, I think that game would have gone a lot differently. Yeah. AKA, they would have killed the throne.
Yeah, get an Urn, kids. It's a good item. So you're able to heal everybody up, you know, take advantage of the fights that you win, make sure you're full HP. Take objectives.
Look at you. You've got everybody's back out there, Trent, just helping the world one MMR at a time. Well, BKB not that far off for Crystallize now. Basically just a recipe as he's got the Mithril Hammer and the Ogre Club. I have to say, Velor's Doom has had much more impact already in this game than pretty much the entirety of game number 1. That's
no, he's looking good. Velor's stepping up, man. He has shake off the nerves. You know, feeling fine.
That's an important thing to be able to do.
I feel like we've talked a hell of a lot about Navi so far this game.
So what's going on with Vici? What's the game plan here? I mean, they do have the Battle Fury on Monkey King. Right. That is a big turning point. Paparazzi really hasn't wanted to contribute to these fights quite yet. So this is something, but what else do they need?
It's only step 1, of course, is Ori. He's the big question mark for me on Vici Gaming so far this game.
He's the big X for me, a.k.a. dead.
The X mark.
Wait, 6 deaths in 21 minutes. He's a third of his team's deaths right now.
This is just not the Ori that we know and love. He just can't get anywhere on this hero. Started with the matchup against the Sand King. It went pretty well, of course, but then he just instantly started rotating and like looking for kills, and he just kept on missing out.
Yep, and just with that quick pick, Navi transitioned into yet another objective. That's a tier 2 mid, and that net worth lead up to 8K.
Meanwhile, Dendy just holding strong at the bottom. He's got the Blink, he's got the Yules. This is playmaking Dendy. Yes, Death Prophet, maybe not the hero that you always kind of associated with, but when you get Blink Yules, feels very good. You know, you can initiate on the target that you want. You can save yourself from these silences, and now he's looking in towards that clutch BKB. That's going to be timed up with the BKB of Crystallize. And ladies and gentlemen, y'all know where we're going next. We're looking for that Roche.
Roshan finish off those objectives, and then high ground will be upon us. Absolutely the right game for BKBs. Really on both sides, but especially for Navi against that Kunkka, the Skywrath Mage, even the Night Stalker. It's really important to have that magic community.
Kind of crazy, but honestly, like it's very important that in a Luna game, the BKB is good. And that makes the game just feel so much better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, absolutely.
You kind of have to buy this item on the hero every single time. And when it's just up against the Zeus, that felt awful in game 1, but now he's going to feel protected. Up against the Kunkka especially. That's like the real big one.
You're absolutely right. Too. You have to buy it either way, but some games it feels like a pretty heavy slot item there. Things taking a little bit more of a passive turn. It looks like Navi might be rendezvousing in the mid lane here for a potential smoke play. And Vici just all spread about their jungle, looking to soak up this farm.
So in terms of the problems, though, last game for Navi, even when they found themselves into the Aegis, the Cheese, the Refresher, the fights, taking those, the Vision. We need to see if they're going to be a little bit more disciplined. I think so far this game, the Vision has looked good. Yeah, especially against a Night Stalker team right now. They got a couple fresh wards here. They took the tier 2, dropped a ward. Got a ward in the mid lane now, too. And I like it when you have these kind of diagonal splits with your wards down the mid, because a lot of times you can kind of spot which half of the map.
Oh, bottom lane. Velor kind of walks around the tree line, bumps into Kunkka, able to put off the Doom, and this is going to be another death for Ori. Absolutely nothing he can do. Managed to get off the boat before the Doom was used, but really to no avail.
He just died drunk. Numbed the pain a little bit.
Stuff it down with some brown.
Fenrir just forced to kind of pop himself away here, trying not to get glimpsed. And there is that
scary
ward, though. If he pops, they could go for this kill.
And
Lil's trying to fake it a little.
Got it.
Yep.
Right into the kinetic field. The rest of Navi, one pick turns into two. And now I think Navi head towards this bottom lane, and that last outer tower probably soon to go down as 11. Well, that's going to be a Dark Rift out of there. He knows that they're on the way, and he makes it.
It is a good thing Glimpse was used, because he was actually just in range as that was happening. So,
but he did clear out the creep wave, so that buys them a little bit of time. This tower has backdoor protection.
And Ori's so important for tower defenses.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You just need this boat combination.
I am a little concerned, though, for the side of Vici about how much farm Crystallize is getting. Yep. He has been pretty much unchecked the last couple minutes, and you can really see it on his bottom line. Now the Hurricane Pike completed. Even got a Scotty. Very aggressive.
No Lincolns this time. Not coming out. I'm not really seeing this Scythe threat instantly popping out of Ori in this game.
Oh, this Luna is having an absolute field day so far. That bottom tower gets finished off. Link up to the high ground. General could be in some trouble, but Lil comes in with a Static Storm kinetic field. This Sand King is pretty darn tanky.
Reinforcements are coming.
Glimpse back now. Sand King will end up falling, but Dendi pops the Exorcism, and they get more out of this.
Man, Veldor's just kind of wandering around here. He's like get off my teammate.
Now Yule's Scepter now onto the Night Stalker as Fenrir tries to make it out, but Spirit Siphon. Hell of a spell when you're trying to chase him down.
Oh, Fenrir,
nice little juke. Misses the Spirit Siphon, or the Crypt Swarm, but it doesn't matter. Dendi still gets the kill.
Look how aggressively postured Lil and Crystallize still are.
Oh, yeah. Crystallize just farming the enemy Ancients. It's like, no worries, guys. Now they get a glimpse onto Ori. Lil says, hey, guys, you looking for another kill? This Pirate's drunk, and we can click him down. It's a Force Staff forward from Crystallize. His Hurricane Pike, actually, that is the 10-second BKB, but gets another one on this Pirate. This is basically a support Kunkka now. His farm is negligible.
Yeah, he's down below Valor. This is
that's not good.
No, it's this is one of the worst Ori games I've ever seen. He's so typically the player that tends to carry them.
Yeah, very much so. 10K net worth, not insurmountable. Still some options for Vici. Navi have to break high ground, and even though they do have some pretty good pushers, not particularly easy against heroes like Kunkka, Underlord, Monkey King. They do really shine in those high ground defense scenarios. Yep. So Navi have to continue to respect that.
There will always be the crit of destiny, but he is so far slowed down for Ori. I mean, you look at this, he doesn't have a Shadow Blade yet, And he probably wants a BKB, but he won't be able to go for it because he needs that desperation item, I'm sure, of the Daedalus first. And he's going to rely on that to maybe win him that one fight to get the BKB, and then he'll go back for the other Daedalus, and maybe they'll be back in the game at that point. Paparazzi, of course, with his BKB, and then maybe into his Echo Saber, he'll be able to carry through some of these fights. There's always a chance. But the way Navi took some of those fights in Game 1, I'm really not ruling it out. They need to be very cautious about their vision. And again, they've been doing a great job so far, but it all matters when they go high ground and when they go for these Rosh fights.
Right, and Roshan might be the objective that Navi want next. 27 minutes in, absolutely no movements towards the pit. Maybe this is Vici going for it.
Velar has his Blink Dagger. He's making his way over there. He doesn't have the TP scroll, though, so it seems like they know, but they can't fully group up just quite yet.
Lotus Orb picked up on 11. This is the debut of it with this potential fight.
I like this. Velar TP's up.
Scans on top of each other, and neither finding anything. But both teams with their heads in the same place, Trent.
Yeah, Velar just blinks in and stomps, thinking they were actually in the pit. Bold move.
Yeah, I mean, they could have been. Remember, Underlord is amazing against Roche. Firestorm, one of few spells that actually works on Roche with that HP burn. So you kind of have to go for plays like that, knowing that if Vici sneak in there, they can kill Roche in less than 20 seconds or something.
For now, they will pop the nighttime as Navi go in.
It's Navi themselves. Yeah, they'll deploy the Exorcism, so pretty committed to the pit. Roche not falling that quickly as they only have 2 heroes inside, but the rest of Navi looking to protect this. Lil kind of baiting back and forth, but Fenrir moves in as they set up a torrent onto Crystallize. Glimmer Cape helps pick him up, but Vici being very hesitant about initiating this.
Look at that Spirit Vest. good item.
Regen rune spawns. Out comes the Pit of Malice. Boat into the pit, but the BKB is on.
Oh, perfect target.
Roche getting low. It falls to the Radiant. Aegis picked up by 11. Vici managed to steal it. Monkey King is doomed, but it's going to expire before too long. The first death will be on General, and Vici have actually taken the edge in this chaotic bout around the Roche pit. Now Velor on the run. He's been dusted. Blink Dagger, not going to be possible. Velor. And that's going to be 2 down on the side of Navi. Aegis still in tow. It is on the Underlord. Maybe not ideal, but just wanted to pick it up.
That was the perfect target if you're Vici to get Doom. Already used the ultimate. Already popped this BKB, gets Doom. Like, okay, thanks. I still pop Jingu. I still do all that stuff.
Yeah.
But he couldn't find anyone else. It's understandable. And even though Underlord got that little bit of nerf, I mean, as you're saying, he still has the Firestorm damage. Doesn't get the percent base, but he still gets Firestorm waves. So that's A-okay.
Yep.
He helps clean it up. They get not only the Aegis, but they got the Aegis kill too. Wasn't even a snatch. So friendly goal going the way of Vici Gaming. Couple of kills.
It's like a 3K swing, 3.5K swing, something like that. Definitely putting a dent in this lead that Navi's picked up.
Oh, Navi.
Yeah, this game's still very far from over.
You got to imagine that has a real mental toll, though. Even though like you're ahead and it feels good, but you got to be thinking about game 1. You got to be reliving these moments. So many of the same heroes here.
Shadowblade on Ori. Thought he might go for the initiation, but opts not to do it. Yeah, honestly, I mean, Vici have a really good team for fighting around the Roche pit. It's not really that surprising that they were able to do that. So much AoE, heroes like Night Stalker that can kind of just run in and out like that.
All right, Navi are going to try and go in here, though. Still a while until daytime. They're moving in the correct direction. They're going to find some heroes. There is an Invis Kunkka here who's got the detection. Dust right away on Velor. He's prepped and ready. Smoke pops. Goes in, he stomps him.
Beautifully done. No hesitation, but Velor, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. Paparazzi clicks him down. He's the first casualty of this fight. Crystallized in deep on the high ground alone, but General's there to back him up with a stun on 2. Ori getting low. Now he falls as the BKB from Crystallize is used. Boat doesn't do a hell of a lot, and it'll be a 1-for-1.
Oh, they still managed to get a kill there, though, but like all those spells got off from the Kunkka just because he didn't pop the dust.
Wow, why didn't he
thought he thought they were just on the high ground, so it's understandable. He blinks, he stomps. Probably thought he hit no one.
That's true. It was such a clutch play, he didn't even realize what he did. Okay. That's sort of a heartbreaker, actually.
Yeah, but he gets focused down, and they're able to then kill the Kunkka, so I mean, support Kunkka for support Doom. It's a little bit of a wash here.
And the Luna still survives. Or double damage on, and now Butterfly queued up next. She's still #1 on net worth by a big margin.
It's also important that you took a fight during nighttime while the Radiant are looking to push an advantage of an Aegis. So you kind of removed a bunch of time where they're looking to take over the map. So, they still have no vision outside of their own half. So.
You were right about Ori wanting to go for that magic immunity. BKB next on the docket post Shadowblade.
I don't know. I mean, I like this, but I kind of feel like he might need the damage first. At this point, though, Paparazzi's actually gotten a little control with the 50% boundless strike crit that we're just going to let him be the crit of destiny, and Ori's going to try and live.
Catch on to Lil, but Glimmer Cape and Force Staff actually helps keep him alive. Dust gets used, but it does not
General
connect.
just gets silenced, though, from that ward on the high ground. They're not going to initiate on him, though.
Yeah, he's got a lot of reinforcements here. Doom is available. Velor will go ahead and drop it on the Underlord. Now Dendi blinks in, has the Exorcism. Looks like 11 is going to be the target that falls first. The rest of Vici just trying to get out of here. That is the Aegis of the Immortal, though. Remember, Underlord was the one that picked it up. Still a Shrine also. Velor needs to be a little careful here. That's a Doom onto the Monkey King, as now 11 gets killed for real this time. Luna in some trouble, but actually surviving. Goes down to the Mystic Flare, but Vici are out of resources. Dendi's on the other side, just cleaning house. BKB from Paparazzi. TP, it's close and he lives. But another disastrous fight for Vici. Luna, the only one to die. Navi get 4 and clean up the Aegis.
Yeah, with that stomp there from Melo, it actually looked like he was hitting the Doom.
Yeah, that's why
there's so many auras on the Underlord.
It actually looked like a Doom. And I was like, how did he have Doom again? That's not a refresher shard. So I miscalled the first Doom. Those were auras. The second one on the Monkey King. That was the real Doom.
That was a very important one.
My apologies on that. That was
Paparazzi's got to carry this game. And if you can get the Doom up on him before all these shenanigans, fine and dandy. So things looking pretty damn good now for Navi.
Spirit Vessel Trent.
It's okay, buddy.
What can I say?
You'll get there
The
one of
color
these
blindness
days.
has come back to haunt me once
wow.
again.
That's a great excuse.
That's the crutch I'm going to lean on, my friend. BKB queued up for Sand King. He's got 4,100 gold himself, so still feeling pretty rich. About dead even with the Underlord. He hasn't picked up an item in quite some while, but just going to be the Crimson Guard up next after picking up that Lotus Orb. So nothing too surprising in the inventory of 11. But also the Aghanim Scepter is up on the Skyrath. Always a
pretty important in the last game, of course, for Valor.
Big jump in the damage output from this hero.
Yeah, Lana's been, I don't know, it kind of feels relatively quiet this game. I guess he just hasn't been in like the forefront there. He doesn't have like a pickoff partner. They haven't done a lot of these just like two-man gang squads across the map or anything. You know, he doesn't have that Clockwork. He doesn't have that Beastmaster. So relatively minimal action outside of team fights, but
he's had pretty high kill participation though. 13 kills on the Skyrath Mage out of 15. Yeah, that's pretty good. Eon Disc out on Dendy's Death Prophet. Very core item there. Incredible this game.
So Vici were already looking pretty strong overall in terms of high ground defense. And then they took the first Roche and the Aegis, stole that away from Navi. That has delayed so much of Navi's plan that things start to look just a little bit dicey, I think. Of course, now we're getting up to 20k net worth for the Luna, but also Monkey King staying right there. You know, he's hanging out. They don't really have that true secondary core to partner along with him, though, of course, just because Ori is so far behind. Like, it's an Underlord, yes, but it's not really the same thing as, like, Luna DP. Definitely feels a little bit better to have on your team at this point in the game than Monkey King Underlord.
Underlord's annoying, but he's in the front line. You can't necessarily burst him down. You always have to worry about the Dark Rift, not the same as that Kunkka with like a Daedalus ready to crit your back line sort of a threat. So definitely understood there. Navi have been hanging on to a pretty decent lead, but at the same time, Vici have been hanging in there. And like you said, the Monkey King has not slowed down his farm. With that Scotty and Lincoln's on the way, he's going to be harder and harder to kill in these next fights. But you can make the same case for Luna. She'll have this little window, I think, where she has Butterfly before MKB comes out.
Yeah.
Monkey King did have an MKB queued up before, but looks like he's opting to go back for the Lincolns instead.
Extremely strong Lincoln Spear game. I mean, it means you might have to waste something on a Glimpse. Fantastic against the Burrow Strike. And then I hear there's this ability called Doom, also kind of annoying.
Ori? Oh, he gets glimpsed back. Not quite on the money for Navi, but Velor, he blinks in with the hoof stomp, and they're going to go for this. Ori's in a lot of trouble. Now Silence, the right clicks from Crystallize. They commit with an Epicenter. Doom gets used. It's on the MK. He's BKB'd. He's Lotus Orb. Doom's desperate, or Underlord's desperately trying to save him, and he does. Navi now backing up as the boat flies. Exorcism still online. Fenrir running out of the base with a hoof stomp again. Role-playing as Centaur as he continues to initiate these fights, but this time it'll bite him in the ass as he writes a check that he can't cash.
It's only going to be the buyback from the VG Gaming Kunkka, though, so you kind of feel good about that. You know, that's what you're trading your Doom for. Now, if Dendy goes down, you're in a little bit of trouble.
Yep, Dendy's Eon Disc helping him out. Haste Rune and healed up from the Spirits of Exorcism. They're going to get away with this. Economic damage done to Vici, furthering that lead of Navi.
Yeah, Denny actually chills at the shrine, though, so they're going to keep hunting. And Lil.
Hello, Lil. No. Yeah, that's not going to be enough for you there. They've got a Dust, so the Glimmer Cape will be rendered ineffective, and they do get a little pick-me-up. Better the Disruptor than the DP, but I don't know if they would have actually killed the DP there either. So.
I'd be a little bitter if I was Lil, though. Like, really? You dragged them the whole way here, man? Come on. How dare you? But yes, of course, you're fine with that. But so much forward vision too, and then
Speaking of economic damage, though, Trent, Ori, the one that had to buy back there, hurting his economy even more. That BKB feels so far away still, and it's 37 minutes into this game.
He is very close to being surpassed by Lena. It's gonna happen.
This is gonna be a core Skyrath at this point with a Hex now queued up.
And General is under vision down here from an Observer ward here. They really want to try and get a kill, but he's sitting on a 9-second BKB. So easier said than done.
General silenced up, dodges the Pit of Malice, but he's got some friends. Valor again with that hoof stomp.
Almost leading them in here. And spring from the sides, but Dendy as well as Crystallize. Just a bit risky for that move. Hold the high ground.
Glimpse back on the Monkey King. And that'll be the end of it. Navi just defend their high ground, and Vici not feeling confident. They'll just back out.
It helps them get some vision damage, kind of what was going on. The nice disruptor play you can make there, of course. You put the sentry in the middle, do kinetic on both, easy D wards. Value Town. Gotta love supports with the value plays. You can do the same thing with AA. There you go. Helping them out once again. Fire Spirit Vessel, D ward.
Hashtag,
wow, this is a clinic.
Hashtag Trent Facts.
Yeah. Great, I should use it. Top lane. Levin's gonna push the wave. General still has a BKB. Not really in a lot of trouble. Okay, now that's an Invis Room Paparazzi.
Uses the Blink Dagger and scans on both sides in the same area. That'll be enough for General. Sort of think twice about his positioning, but staying in the tree line. He's got rotations on the way. Paparazzi uses the Wukong's command, but Crystallize actually ends up on the other side of it. He just wanted to go for 11, but it counters the Monkey King, who brings down Velour. This is going to work out okay for Vici. Now with the Dark Rift queued up, he actually decides to cancel it with the Doom down. Maybe thinking they can take a fight. Lil getting punched hard by Fenrir, but he does make it up to the high ground. Arcane Bolts will bring him down. It looks great for Vici. The Exorcism from Dendi not doing much.
Not the Force Staff I think they wanted there from the angle between General and Lil.
No.
Sends him right into the enemy team. And again, the Doom's just... I don't know. He seems determined to do it, but every time it's post-ultimate and the ulti's still going.
That was another, yeah. Monkey King had his ultimate and BKB on when he got doomed again. It's what, the third time this game that's happened?
It feels like it.
At least the second. And
anyway.
now Vici walk into Roche, and again with the Underlord, this feels relatively safe. He's not even using the Firestorm to bring it down.
Ever since the nerfs, it's just like, I mean, look at this Monkey King. He looks great.
Yeah, and they've got the Solar Crest too on the Night Stalker, so it makes it even easier. But regardless, it doesn't matter, Trent. It's an Aegis cheese going the way of Vici for the second time this game. However, this go around, it will be uncontested. And Monkey King will get that second life in the Aegis as he picks up his Lincolns.
So important to the plan of Navi to have that Aegis and cheese. Even though they're 7k up, now 6k up. Far range here of initiation.
Yeah, she does have that butterfly, though. He's going to try to flurry away. There's the Hurricane Pipe, BKB to get away from the Kunkka combo.
They're just going to chase the great force of the BKB here.
There's no Exorcism. This is not a fight that Navi really want to take. The Glimpse is successful, but now Luna, without a BKB, caught in the Pit of Malice, gets obliterated. Vici.
Monkey's back already.
They're in hot pursuit. Fenrir in the front lines. Lil goes down again. It's 2 more kills going the way of Vici Gaming, and that lead that Navi had very quickly dissipated.
They're coming mid with the Underlord. Velour's just there. He's dead.
Wow. Great play from Vici using that Dark Rift so aggressively, and now they can just shove in mid and probably grab a tower.
11, he's got 225 damage.
Jeez.
Say hello to the tower.
Gotta love that Atrophy Aura. Backdoor protection gets broken, and this will be the easiest siege they'll have all game.
Yeah. And
also
it's still
2 siege
lasting
creeps
for
on
quite
top
a while.
They're
going to force a BKB out of this, or a buyback out of this Luna, but she has no BKB for 10 more seconds, so not really much point popping back.
It's a potential tier 3 kill. They have the Glyph. With double siege, they will kill this fast. Only the Doom has bought back. Luna holding hers for now. Disruptor still in the grave for 5.
When you have 230 damage on your Underlord. Who cares if he's up front?
And they might go for Barracks. Velour again with the hoof stomp. He gets off the Doom on Monkey King, this time without the Wukong's command, but it will be the end of him. Ultimate from Crystallize as well as Dendi. They're doing pretty good damage here, but Vici are just tanking through it. They're trying to do what return damage they can. Luna without the BKB is falling fast. Dendi as well. This Exorcism just isn't doing enough. The Monkey King is too big. Velour does not have a buyback, but Dendi does. He gets back in the fray. It's the end of the Aegis. 11 getting low. Static Storm, Kinetic Field, not enough.
And he's still sitting on 160 damage.
The buyback from Dendi not doing a hell of a lot without the Exorcism. Not a very scary hero. Vici will get the mid lane of Barracks, but do they back up? It doesn't seem like it. 11's got another 160 damage from the Atrophy Aura, and he says, guys, let's keep on going. They jump on Dendi. Glimmer Cape keeps him alive. Now 11 maybe in some trouble, stuck inside the kinetic field. Luna trying to do what damage she can, but the supporting cast is here. The Underlord's just too damn beefy. Navi's tournament life on the line here as Vici have regained control so quickly.
Only General sitting with buyback at this moment for the side of Navi. Things very tense. Looks like Vici might have had their fill. They're going to hold up here. In fact, Oriel will go back home, come back with some bottle charges and a BKB to boot.
Okay, finally gets
up his allies here. And some for you, some for you, some for you. Oh, look at that guy. Like tossing around 3 of them. And that Monkey King again, though, paparazzi. Yes, he got doomed before, but just... It feels terrible. I mean, the Jingu is still going through. He's still just healing up.
It's just not the target you want. Now the initiation onto Crystallize. He's got the BKB, gets glimmered, but dusted immediately. There's that cloven hoof stomp from the Doom. But will it be the end of him? Kunkka with the boat finishes him off. Now General with the BKB, desperately trying to survive. It'll keep him alive.
Everything. He's hitting 3 4-man burrow strikes, and they can't get damage on top of them. They're just back on the buildings.
Crystallize has the BKB, but it might be too little, too late. He heads back, makes it to the well, but the barracks will be rubble here, Trent. Melee first, range shortly after. It's a 4v5 Doom without buyback.
Offensive tipping begins. 11 looking to close this one on out.
Catching a little bit of lag here.
Well, everything's still fine
inside
the game.
On your screen then.
Gold for my chest. Ah, clear sailing now.
A gift from the tempest of battle.
The cavalry has arrived.
Invisibility. Haste.
Scotty.
What did he sell?
He's Scotty.
I'm still not loaded in.
He's looking good.
He sold something, though.
Either way, we have a rapier.
We have a rapier, Trent.
Life's fine.
So how do you play around the rapier now is my next question. Do you go for the smoke? Do you just turtle into the base? What's the ideal way to reveal this?
I mean, honestly, General's been great. Like, he won the Mask of Madness now, because that's what he sold. But in terms of those, like, 3- and 4-man burrow strikes, that's what he needs, right? It's kind of on General, and that's when Crystallize comes and says, I'm saving the game. And he just glaives everyone.
Hopefully he says it more confidently than that. That didn't seem like a...
Well, I mean, you're riding on, like, this cat thing.
I think you want your rapier carrier to have a little bit more grandiosity to him than that. But, General in some trouble. He does get silenced up. The rest of his team standing on the high ground here. Such a delicate situation for Navi. They have to make sure they initiate this final fight properly.
Despite having a gem, there's also still a ward inside the dire base, too. Just a little... Well, I was like, oh. All right, he just walks past it. Don't worry, General's on the point. Now there's a little bit of mystery.
I think maybe Vici will continue to be a little patient just until Monkey King has enough gold for buyback on top of the MKB.
They also know that we're in mystery Roche time. It's about a minute until it spawns, minute 15. So they're just going to keep periodically checking in, see if they can grab for themselves, and that'll be the easy closer with the refresher shard.
Yeah, absolutely. The double Wukong's command is pretty darn scary, especially when the Monkey King is disfarmed.
Yeah, it kind of feels like that is probably the best option. He's gone for the +1 ring once again, same as game 1. But this isn't Mega's territory. I feel like maybe we're overselling in terms of like how far ahead they are.
I mean,
of course, like what if Navi win this fight?
It's only a 2K net worth lead, so you're absolutely right. With the Rapier, Navi could win this fight, march right down the mid, and they could still very much win this game.
They got to kill 10 heroes though.
Yes.
Actually, Underlord doesn't currently have buyback. He has bought out. So
the dire buybacks
heroes
are on the way. Not up quite yet, but less than a minute. So this game is actually leveled out a lot more than we thought it might after that devastating push from Vici.
Yeah, it does feel like it's virtually impossible for them to actually get the Roche though. At this point.
You mean Navi?
Yeah, it's a very far way to like push out, actually get in there. Vici just seemed like it has like fully secured. Landon's just sitting in the pit, knowing how important this is.
Also just so scary. Again, this Vici lineup has so much AoE around the pit. Wukong's command on top of Pit of Malice, 2 incredible spells in that small area. I would be very nervous if I were Navi.
He has found an invis rune, and they don't have any sentries. They have a gem, I think, on the Night Stalker. Yes.
And they do smoke. So if that smoke breaks, they'll know trickery is afoot, but it seems they'll get away with this. Roche falling pretty quickly, and Navi smoke up, but they don't get there in time. Refresher shard. Where does it go?
Oh, we have the Aegis there.
On the Monkey King and Aegis
the Underlord.
On the Underlord, yeah. So the big beefy boy is going to be in the front lines again.
And cheese on the Skywrath Mage. I mean, Lanav is a pretty important part of their damage. Post BKBs, he will destroy the side of Navi.
And now for Navi, the buybacks have come off cooldown, but short on gold for most of their heroes. Still a very scary time. Satanic now queued up next for the Luna.
Feels like Navi are just lying in wait, though. They know. I mean, once you purchase the Rapier, you've all in on that one fight. You can't really go for like riskier split pushes.
Honestly, this kind of stalemate right now is exactly what you would expect when we're 50 minutes in to an elimination game
at the
4K net worth, 50 minutes in at the Supermajor with a Rapier on a Luna. This is pretty tight. I mean, one mistake here could cost you your life in the tournament. So both teams are trying to play perfectly safe, wait for the opponent to make the mistake to capitalize. Don't be the one to make the mistake yourself. They'll finish off this last shrine.
Yeah, you kind of have one of these moments like, oh, guys, we forgot about the shrine. I know we took 2 full lanes. We can just go take that, so.
A little bit of extra gold.
Felt like Navi were trying to play around that area, maybe even just for the minimal buybacks they had would have been an option. But speaking of which, the important buyback is there on the Luna. And then Lil also having his too, I suppose. But
yep, slowly getting that income. Navi with basically no map control right now. They don't have a choice but to stay locked in their base, and they're going to force Vici to come to them. With the Aegis, it's certainly possible. I mean, this Underlord is really strong. Oh, there's that concussive. It's the global.
Yeah, he's getting the Ashby-Aura. They're allowing 11 to have the wave, and he's going to move up for the siege.
Starts smacking away at that tier 3. Of course, there is a glyph for Navi. Dendi, the one initiated on first as they jump onto the Underlord. Vici being very patient here. Hex, now boat comes out. There's a Wukong's command to get things started. Lil dies first. Has the buyback, but will hold it. Dendi forced to BKB very defensively. Does get off the exorcism. Jumps forward, but needs to be careful here. Buyback from Lil. They've gotten the tower down to about half HP, but the X torrent mitigated by the Yules sets up for the Pit of Malice. Force Staff keeps the DP alive, but
might be worth backing here. Exorcism is out. There's not really a lot of advantages to going with this wave right now. Still gonna go for it though. Still feeling very strong.
Exorcism expiring now. Dendi healing up a little bit, but his damage much lower. Paparazzi with big damage onto Velor. He still has the Doom, but he can't use it. He dies with no buyback. Ultimate still available. There's the second Wukong's command, and Navi in big trouble. Down goes General. No buyback there, and they are getting cleaned up. We could be moments from a GG as they dive onto the Death Prophet into the tier 4s. Down she goes. Buyback used, but now Lil, he'll die back himself. The DP doing everything she can to hold on alongside the Luna, but Navi's life in this tournament ending before their eyes. Vici see the dive, they seize the day, and they find the kills. GG as Navi are eliminated, and Vici move on to the next round.
Fenrir will seal the deal with the Rapier Night Stalker there, and will continue to tip low.
Well, great work, panel. You cursed Navi, and Vici have done it.
That's what you get. Yeah,
That's what you get,
but
indeed.
it really felt the same as game 1, didn't it?
It really
That's what we were
did.
kind of worried about in terms of the draft. I do agree this one looked better. I feel like the Sand from General was a very key aspect they were missing in the first one, something to start these fights, but actually getting that control, the Roche fights really in this game were the ones that absolutely killed them.
I feel like I would almost give General MVP again. He played very, very well that game. 5-5 and 19 on the Sand King, huge impact, but it just felt like there was no follow-up.